What is the final ruling on the 2020 fee schedule in physical therapy? Before I explain this new fee schedule and how it's going to literally destroy this career and this profession as we know it, I want to address a few things. And the first thing is that when I record a video like this, I don't always post it right away. And so sometimes it might seem weird that I just posted the proposal video and then the new final video. Well, that's because I don't post every week. I save them and post them later. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to understand is that this bill, I don't know if you call it a bill, it's not a proposal either. What is it called? The new ruling, the fee schedule. How should I refer to it? The rule? Let's just call it the rule from now on. The new rule is very long and it goes very in depth on not only talking about physical therapy, but other disciplines as well. The rule is over 2,400 pages long, so that's a lot to comprehend and understand. So please forgive me if I mess up or do something silly. I don't know. I'm just going to talk about the main parts that are relatable to you, and I'm going to refer back to my other video talking about the proposal of the law, and I'm going to compare it to what the actual ruling is. So if you want to watch that video to understand more of what I'm talking about, then do it. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to mention now that is the same from the proposal as to the final rule is that the Medicare hard cap has been removed and it's now a threshold. The original cap used to be at $2,040 and the new threshold limit is at $2,080. And it's no longer that you can't provide services anymore for patients over the age of 65 once you reach that cap, but you can go past it. You just have to justify why it's medically necessary to see that patient. If you want to understand more about what that means, I broke it down more in my previous video. Another thing in the final rule that is similar to the proposal is that PTAs will be reimbursed at 85% of what a PT does starting in 2022. That is a bummer. So you're going to have to start distinguishing between who's seen the patient, whether the PTA saw the patient or whether the PT did, and that starts in 2020. You're going to have to start adding modifiers to the bill to let the billing company know who provided care for that patient. As you can see then, the proposal is very similar to the final rule, but there are some differences. One of those is being there are no longer documentation requirements for when you distinguish the difference between a PTA or a PT. In the proposal, it said that you had to not only add the difference between who's seen the patient, the PT or the PTA on the bill, but you also had to add it to your daily notes and your regular documentation, but now you don't have to do that portion of it. You still have to add it to the bill though. One of the biggest changes from the proposal to the final rule and a lot of the argument or the advocating by the APTA to the CMS or Medicare was not that PTAs are getting reimbursed at 85% of what PTs do. Like, that's official. Like, if a PTA provides 100% of the care, then you get reimbursed at 85%. What the debate was over was what happens if the PTA provides part of the treatment session, not the full thing. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's silly to argue over what happens if the PTA does part of the treatment session. I felt like the argument should have been at the 85%. We should have been arguing on that, but that isn't necessarily Medicare's fault. It was actually introduced by federal law. So that's a tidbit of information on the side. Let me break down then the changes of what happens from the proposal to the new rule when a PTA provides physical therapy for part of the service. The original proposal said that if a PTA provided over 10% of the treatment session, then they would be reimbursed at 85%. Now the new rule says that if a PTA provides over 10% of each 15-minute code, then they will be reimbursed at 85%. So what does that even mean though? When someone comes into physical therapy and you treat them, then you go to submit the bill to the insurance company. You don't submit a bill that says 60 minutes of physical therapy to the insurance company. What you do is you submit units. Now, how do you know how much units to charge for? Is by time. It's called an 8-minute rule, and basically it goes by intervals of 15. So 15 minutes, you have 1 unit, 30 minutes, you have 2 units, 45 minutes, you have 3 units, and so on. And that's how you submit the bill to the insurance company, but you also have to distinguish what you did during that treatment session. In physical therapy, you can do a lot of different things with patients. You can do manual therapy, you can do therapeutic exercise, therapeutic activities, neuro re-education. There's a whole list of things you can choose from, and each of those items have a code next to them, like a sequence of numbers. And basically what you do is you write down how many units of each of those numbers you did. So if you did 30 minutes of therapeutic exercise, then you would write 2 units next to that time slot, or next to that code, if that makes sense. If you've seen a patient for 60 minutes then for that treatment session, what you would do is mark down 2 units of therapeutic exercise, 1 unit of neuro re-ed, 1 unit of manual therapy, or whatever you did for that treatment session for that day, and that is what you would submit to the insurance company. How the old proposal worked then was that if I, as a PTA, seen a patient for 10 minutes and did manual therapy, and then for the other 50 minutes, the PT did therapeutic exercise, then the whole bill, each one of those units, would be reimbursed at 85%. The new rule though says that the 85% reimbursement rate only applies to every 15-minute code. So if I did manual therapy for 10 minutes with the patient, and then the PT did 50 minutes of therapeutic exercise, the 1 unit I billed for manual therapy will be reimbursed at 85%, and the other 3 units that the PT did with therapeutic exercise will be reimbursed at 100%. There is also another aspect to this new rule that a lot of people are talking about, and that is that Medicare plans to reduce payments for all of physical therapy across the board, whether you're a PT, whether you're a PTA, by an estimated 8%. To go over again everything I just talked about, number 1, the Medicare hard cap has been removed and it's now a threshold. Number 2, PTAs will be reimbursed at 85% less than a PT starting in 2022. Number 3, when a PTA provides part of the physical therapy session, it only applies to 15-minute codes now. And number 4, the whole profession is going to be estimated to see reduced payment by 8%. So there you guys have it. Those were the highlighted points of the new 2020 fee schedule. And let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I hope it was helpful for you, at least understanding a little bit more about what's going on. And I still kind of want to make another video to talk more in depth about it and kind of talk about what you should do if you're a PTA, or if you want to be a PTA, how does this look for you? I hope I can make a video soon on that. I'll try my best. Bear with me. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe if you're new. Please subscribe if you're not new and you haven't subscribed yet. Please tell others to subscribe, and thanks for watching the video. Peace.